This derives from a meeting that Jerry arranged with me for the Hmong leadership once they were at Ban Vinai. Leaders of all clans were assembled, and we said to them, "What do you want to do with your future?" And they were very clear. The very first thing they said was, "Would you please call us from now on Hmong," which means free man, and not male, which has the connotation of meaning savage or wild or primitive, and we don't want to be called that anymore. I said in the back of my mind, I said, I wonder why all these years when the CIA operated the war, they didn't call them Hmong if that's what they preferred. But I said, that's certainly, we can take care of doing that as we work with you. But what do you want to do? And they said, well, here's a list of the weapons we want to take Sayaburi province, west of the Mekong River. We can defend that because the river will be between us and the North Vietnamese Pathet Lao armed forces. I said, no, that war game is over. I'm from the State Department. We're here to try to see how we can help you. And they said, well, second choice is, could we stay all together in Thailand and have enough arms to provide for our own security? Because there was a Thai communist insurgency, and they wanted to be sure they wouldn't be vulnerable to that. I said, if you can get the Thai to agree to that, that's fine, but I don't think so. They're saying they will not have you here as permanent residents of Thailand. Third choice, they said, would be to go to the United States and all stay together in one big area, like your Indians stay in places. I said, yes, I know what you are talking about. We have Indian reservations, but they have their problems, and we're not set up to handle you that way. The only way in which you come to the United States would be to be dispersed to individual churches and local organizations across the United States, and you will have to then make it on your own, family by family. And that's the best I can make to you by way of an offer of resettlement. And that's when they began to think, well, we may have to choose to go as individual families to the United States, because there doesn't seem to be any other option for us. But we certainly started from that point on, when we reported as the process of screening them all developed, we began to refer to them as, in the first telegram, male, parentheses, Hmong, and the second was Hmong, parentheses, male, and by the third we dropped the term male entirely, and all of the refugee program communications basically referred to them as Hmong. So the label male never made it to the United States, thanks to that meeting in Ban Vinai. Listening to the Hmong leadership, that was the least we could do. And that's how you have become to be known as Hmong Americans and not male Americans. It didn't make the trip across the Pacific Ocean, which we feel good about, because it would have been confusing, we think, to try to change the name once you arrived in the United States. This way you arrived as free people in the U.S., even though you were refugees, you arrived with a name that you wanted to be called. Even those people who knew them from the Lao era as male began to follow right in and call them Hmong. It was very rare to hear the term male used, never used in our office, and all of a sudden people were calling them Hmong. And the Thai bureaucracy adopted pretty quickly as well. So that was the one thing we were able to do that was requested of us in its entirety.